Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Monarchs, Domain Monarchs, TCG format, October 2021. Let's take a look. Any big changes compared to my previous build some time ago? I think right at the start, of our previous ban list. So that's I think about 3 months ago. Some small changes, I guess. I added in a third copy of the Pendulum monster. Uncamouflaged, you know, I'm not going to butcher its current TCG name, but you know which one I mean. I feel going first, that card is an instant staple at 3, but going second, the card is probably going out. Like, just, you know, side deck it out for probably another copy of Mithra, so that would be the second copy of it in the main deck, plus other potential side deck cards. I'm looking at, you know, like Gamma Seal, Dark Ruler No More, and so on. But, you know, the core of the deck still stays the same. Domain is still very strong against a lot of top tier decks in our quote-unquote new TCG format. I'm looking at Tri-Brigade, Sky Strikers to some extent, that didn't really change. Sword Soul in the future, obviously. Drytron, they are somewhat hindered by Domain. Yeah, definitely. But as you saw, I'm still a huge fan of Triple Vanity's Fiend. Because of that, even though Vanity's Fiend on its own is not really the best tribute monster, because of its stats, obviously, but still it can, like, well, warp the entire game around it, right? I mean, just drop it to the field and hope that your opponent can't deal with it. And as for the main deck, it's almost pretty much the same as, like always. Double return, that's fine. 3 is too much nowadays, I feel. And that gives us some extra space to get in that one of March, right? And Majesty's Fiend is also one of those cards that indeed might go in going, well, you know, game 2 or game 3. This is actually quite good still, even though, you know, I got, was it Blossomed, yeah? On Idea Summon, well, there's still Stormfort and Triple Ether, right, during your opponent's turn to get the domain lock live, but Super Poly just said no. That's a bummer, and this is game. So Construct plus the Alistair discard, right, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why it's scooped there, but it's fine. That's the thing, right? I mean, I have been playing the deck so long, and that again didn't change compared to its release back in 2016, is you want to go first. And I mean, in our current format, we saw that in the Invitational that Altergeist won, the European one, a couple of days ago, past weekend. Obviously, that's not a great matchup, the side deck is there. But stuff like Dragon Link. Dragon Link is actually an okay matchup, but big is you want to go first. If you're going first, you have a huge chance to, you know, win those matchups against Virtual World, against Drytron, against Dragon Link, Virtual World to some extent, yeah, Tri-Brigade, and so on and so on. But as you'll see, of those decks, Virtual World is definitely the hardest one, because is it Chuchi, the trap card? It has the capability to pop stuff. That's a problem, especially if you're going second, right? Only 3, so that's not that big. The Erebus is coming, and that's why the Uncamouflaged, the Upstart Goblin Pendulum monster is so good. It gives the deck the capability to play around Imperm, to play around, you know, Veiler, Ash Blossom in some way to get the Monarch on field, and potentially Chain Block with return, right, in case of Ash Blossom. But yeah, I mean, one of the questions I always see in the comments, you know, with these decks is that people still are questioning the should you main deck the Squires, right? Idea, Eidos, Mithra to some extent. I think you should, yeah. But I dropped both of them, like Idea, Eidos. Even though they're normal, well, okay, you have to normal summon them, and if your opponent has any form of interruption like Veil or Imperm, your turn pretty much stops. Stuff like your Uncamouflaged, your Pendulum monster, again kinda dodges that. And the deck definitely has the capability to play around potential Ash Blossom or Failure or Interruption on your normal summon Idea or Eidos. Just don't do it or run into the hand trap. But if you don't have any other option, you probably have to, right? Like normal summon Idea and kinda hope that your opponent does not have Ash Blossom. But even then, I believe both Squires are solid. You know, stuff like Foolish Burial, the one-off 1/1, you know, those extenders are fantastic for Idea to get it on the field for the potential double tribute summon. So that's still cool. Plus, let's not forget, Idea has the capability to get something from your banished pile back, and that's of course very nice for the deck. Get back a, you know, a used up Pantheism or something that you banished with Prime Right. And I feel that one of Mithra is much better than, let's say, the triple Eidos. I would definitely not go for the 3 Idea. 2 is fine, again, because of the crucial normal summon. 2 Idea is fine, 2 Eidos is fine, and then 1 Mithra. I feel that's the sweet spot on the ratio, because like you want to have a target in your deck for Idea at any moment, preferably Eidos. You know, the dark one, that's like literally the worst one you could draw, and most of the time you're, you know, if you use Idea, go for Eidos first, and if both of your Eidos are, you know, out of the deck, Mithra will be the last one, obviously. But Mithra, again, has the capability to dodge those hand traps, plus still give you the double, plus, yeah, like the regular tribute summon, but potentially the second tribute summon also, right? And here, again, the matchup I kind of feared, that could be the same with Drytron if Drytron does opt to, you know, play the Dragoon package, probably not, but Virtual World is still a deck that has the same for Invoked or Fusion decks that have the capability to go for Anaconda or, you know, here, Muddy Mud Dragon to go for the Dragoon. Dragoon is a problem. The side deck is definitely needed for something like that. I'm looking at Gamma Seals, for example, Dark Ruler no more to hit all of the floodgates, right, like Crystal Wing, to still give you a chance in the duel, but the thing is that both Crystal Wing and Dragoon are very vulnerable to Stormfort, but, you know, the first Stormfort will indeed get negated, and you need some kind of specific hands to like combat those fields of, let's say, Dragoon, Crystal Wing, right? I mean, you have to have like Stormfort plus another Stormfort to kind of deal with that potential field or, you know, threat. As in Stormfort gets negated, Stormfort for probably Erebus, you know, bounce back a card, potentially Chain Block if Crystal Wing is still face up, right? So there are ways pretty sighted to get you out of that particular field, but it's really, at least the chances of that happening isn't really that high, so you definitely need the side deck for that. But still, that doesn't change a thing. If you play this deck, if you go into like locals, regionals, you know, 5, 7 or 6, 7 rounds, there's you always want to go first, and no, this knowing my luck, I rarely win a dice roll, but I mean, because of this, the deck is on its own, it's not really that hard to play. The thing is that you have to keep in mind, if you have the capability to play around the hand trap like Blossom, Veil or Imperm, you should always do that. Drop Vanity, drop Majesty, or, you know, drop any form of tribute with Domain on the field, and kinda hope for the best. You could have, you know, some more protection with March, but still, I mean, both side deck still side deck, Twin Twister, Duster, and, you know, the standard stuff, Lightning Storm, evenly matched. That's still a problem, right? But, you know, you still have a side deck on your own. So side decking stuff like Solemn Judgment, Nibiru are those, depending on the matchup, obviously. But those are still cards you could definitely go for, right? And this is indeed... is this game over for Stormfort? Maybe. It doesn't really matter. The last one, if I'm not mistaken, again, Virtual World. I guess from the current top tier decks, I'm looking at Tri-Brigade, Zuliek, small Zuliek package. I'm looking at Drytron, Virtual World, obviously, Fusion decks, Invoked, Shadows. I guess Virtual World is the toughest matchup because of this, because of the trap card. While, well, anti-meta, heavy trap decks is also kind of a problem, since Vanity's Fiend doesn't really do that much against, let's say, Guru Control or Altergeist, right? Because of their galore of you know, traps. Oh, then again, I mean, it does prevent the Special Summoner from going through, and, you know, Solemn Strike does nothing against Vanity's Fiend on its own. So I guess it's kind of okay, but not optimal, right? So that's how it is. This is the current deck list. I feel the ratios are good. I don't see myself cutting the squires. I feel the the sweet spot. For side deck, going second, I would feel that you could definitely cut the 3 uncamouflaged, you know, the Pendulum Upstart monster, 4 depending, right? Dark Ruler, another Mithra. I'm not a huge fan of that, what is it called, the blue one next to Dark Dust Spirit. The Sele Glare, I believe the name is. I prefer the one of Kuras. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Magician's Souls. I think it's terrible, but that's my personal testing experience. So again, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.